Welcome to the Healing Lifestyle Podcast, a sacred space for living, healing, and ascension. I'm your host, Shonda Domingo, ancestral medium, movement healer, and founder of Domingo Training. Here we explore mind, body, and spirit practices for wholeness and ascension through meditations, rituals, ancestral connection, and holistic living. Take a breath, take a moment, let's begin. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Healing Lifestyle Podcast. I am your host, ancestral medium and movement healer, Shonda Domingo. And this is my dear friend, Malaika Moran.
Hey, everybody.
So we're starting kind of like a new season on the
Yeah.
podcast. We've been doing like weekly messages just to kind of make sure people are still getting the information, the insight, the guidance, and the wisdom that they need each week. And so Malaika is kicking us off with bringing our guests back. So I can say all the things about Malaika.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Malaika is she's a friend. She's a client. She is like marketing, PR, logistic, like savior, like expert. Yes, there you go. Good job, friend.
I'm learning.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Then she's also, she's a consultant. She's an advisor. Everything from social media to marketing to promotions to
Even?
I was about to say events.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
I threw that in because I have not been claiming that.
Didn't we talk about this? Yeah, I love you so much.
Yes, I know you do. Listen, Shonda be getting you together, man, like all the way together. You be getting listen.
But it goes both ways.
Okay, yeah. There are times I'm doing stuff and I'm like, okay, Shonda said it.
And so if you're new here to the podcast, we talk about all the things healing as a lifestyle. And for me, my approach to healing is all about connecting to our ancestors. And when I say ancestors, that's the people who have come before us, your mama, your grandma, and even the people that you may not know, but whose blood and wisdom runs through your DNA and in your bones, the people who actually are in the spirit world, what we call the ancestral realm, doing the work and have wisdom and guidance to actually help you along your life's path. And outside of that, we talk movement. You're good. We talk movement. We talk meditation. We talk herbs. We talk eating clean, meditating with crystals. So literally lifestyle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because it's not like the buzzword of health and wellness and lifestyle that a lot of people think about. My experience of you is that you see where people have the most need and you give them the right formula for what they need and where they are. Because not everybody's going to be like, you could tell somebody, okay, yeah, you need to use these crystals, you need to eat all these things, you need to da da da. And you do give that information. But usually every time I meet with you, there's like one or two takeaways that I could do right now. And if I'm consistent with those two things, then I can add on to other things. So you're very gracious in like, this is where you are. Don't try to do all the things. Let's just start right here. Yeah. And that I really do appreciate. And I want to say that I'm grateful and honored to be on your podcast. I watch all your podcasts. I love them.
Listen, so we're gonna be transparent here, right? I have a hard time talking about myself. Let me rephrase that. I just don't do it as much as I think I probably should.
She don't.
As far as sharing what I do, how I do it, I just kind of be putting stuff out there, right? And so when you have a friend like Malaika, all right, who is like, sis, what are you doing? What's the messaging? What are we getting? And so she had this idea of like, let's do a podcast episode where we just get inside of your head and just you get to share about what you do. She was like, I've experienced your services. Let me help you. Let me help guide you through that conversation of talking about yourself. And so this episode is really, I believe in community. I believe in support and being supported by authentic people who speak the same language as you. So Malaika is our guest on today's episode to almost be like a safe space for me to really just share what I do, how I do it. And for me to build a relationship with all of you. So you can know like what I do, how I do it. This person who's bringing you all of this channeled information, these insights and all the things.
That's right. And listen, it's this is not going to be an infomercial.
No.
Right.
We don't want it like that.
No, we don't want that. Right. We ain't doing that. But I think it is what I like to do is express how you do what you do. So let me just break it down and say what she's done for me. Okay. You know, you actually positioned yourself as doing like healing movement, right? Which you do because you're a choreographer and your dance classes are thebomb.com. But I talked to you because I was in a very confusing place. And because you have the skill sets of being able to channel ancestors, understanding what movement helps you, like you have this kind of this toolbox of stuff, right? You're able to combine it. So when I came to you and you did my reading, you channeled my ancestors, the ones that I knew were who had my back. And I was able to hear from them in a way that I was not able to do myself. But interestingly enough, you opened me up to being able to hear from them myself.
That's the goal. That's the goal. That's always the goal. It's for you. And I think any person who calls themselves a healer, right? The assignment from spirit is not to be your source, right? Like the assignment is not for me to be your source or your channel.
Right.
Yes, I'm here to help you establish the connection. But the goal, and I'm very grateful for the teachers that I've had who have instilled that in me. The goal is to empower you to be able to do it for yourself, because we all have the gift to connect.
Yep.
We all connect and channel for ourselves just in different ways.
Yeah.
And so it's about really getting you on that path of what does that look like for you? And you developing, it's a muscle, right? Your intuition, how you channel, it's a muscle. So it's getting you, guiding you into the practice of being able to trust yourself and also being here, because sometimes even when you get good at it, right? Like I still get readings from other mediums.
I hear you talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that like for like a bunch of mediums to get together? Like
it's a good time.
I'm like, whoa, y'all probably, yeah.
It's a lot of, I remember I went to dinner and it was like 4 of us. But what was really nice, it's not like we just be sitting there channeling for each other. Like, we really was just trying to enjoy the happy hour. But what is nice is there's this built-in accountability, you know, of like, I have a friend that I talk to, and she's not a medium as a career, but she does have a gift. And we're connected because our ancestors are connected just through time. And it's crazy how we got connected into each other's lives and then found out there's this actual ancestral relationship between both of our bloodlines.
Wow.
And so it's funny because then we'll be like, this is happening to me right now. You know, my emotions are high. Yeah. Girl, just let me know if you're getting something.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so it's moments like that. Or sometimes we'll just be talking. Yeah. I have one friend, I always feel bad because whenever I'm with her, it's like my mama be making her like taste stuff. She be like, I got it. She was talking to me and was like, why? And she's vegan. She was like, girl, why I want KFC right now? And I was like, Ma, please leave.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Her alone. And I was like, my mother, she wants KFC. I have to go get her some KFC and put it on the altar. And my mom used to love KFC.
So like, I'm sorry, I mean,
no, you're good. You're good. So it's just, I think it's like that, but I think it's a lot of accountability too, because you can't BS somebody who can discern the hell out of you.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually, whenever I'm about to be around you, I am aware of my energy, because I'm like, even if I'm trying to cover up something, you're gonna see it and you're gonna feel it. Like that's the thing about spiritually intuitive people. Like they see everything. So you can't really cover it, you know.
And you gotta like be tapped in. Sometimes I really be on, because we still human.
Right.
You know, so sometimes like I really don't be checking for like, I really just be like, let me go have tea with my friend. Now, if something come up and I know like it's something you need to hear, which usually always like happens with us a lot,
It does.
I don't mind. I don't trip because I want my friends to get the information that they need. But I don't be looking for it.
Okay.
I'm not that girl.
And your friends are very conscious to
Yeah,
not
I'm very
like
great. Yeah,
to
I'm
not
very
be
lucky.
like every time I see you, girl, what
You got a message.
like I
Very
can
blessed.
imagine that is exhausting. It's almost like, if every time I went somewhere, somebody's asking me, look at my social media. What should I change? What should I do? Da, da, da. And which I'm happy to do because I love what I do.
Right.
But you don't want to feel like you're working with your friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I'm very blessed in that arena where I have, even if my friends aren't mediums, they're very energetically aware and conscious. So it's not nothing I really have to worry about. I think I'm very blessed in that department. I don't know other people's experience. But
Right.
I'm real blessed. Like, yeah, I don't have to deal with that.
So like what you were saying just a minute ago, like when you're around other people with that gift and like you're with your girlfriend whose ancestors talk to your ancestors and your mom wants her to taste KFC, to somebody else that might sound really out there. Right?
Yeah.
How do you make something like this approachable for people who either say, one, that sounds too way out there, two, my religion won't let me think out, about that. Like I'm Xing out God or Jesus by focusing on that. What would you say to those people?
Good question. All right. So first to answer the first question, I want to make sure I understood you correctly. It's like for people who is just the first one is just for people who think it's out there, right? I think the first thing I do and what I always owe people is my authenticity. I don't sugarcoat what I do. And so I used to, because I used to be scared of what people would think.
Got it.
And I used to be scared of people judging me for having that gift. And so I would try to be like, well, I would say it fast. I would be like, yeah, I help people with movement and meditation. Then, I talk to your ancestors too. Like I used to try to like sneak it in there. And then I had a really good teacher who was like, if you don't own it, you're going to get weak messages. And it's like, how would you feel if you walked into a room and the people you were related to, you didn't claim them, but they all out here supporting you? That's what I said. And then, and so from there, and both of my parents are deceased, right? So that's like walking into a room and not owning the fact that I still have a relationship with my parents, even in spirit.
Right.
So it was just like a really good perspective to have. So the first thing I do is I just started confidently owning my gift and what it is I do. And I needed the time to get clear on it. Not just that this is what I do, but also this is how I serve and how I use it to serve.
So I just want to take a pause for the cause because I think that message is really applicable to people who have any kind of skill that you have. Just like earlier I said, I really didn't claim that I do events, but that's like something I'm really good at, right? So everybody, and I know I'm making the obvious, but sometimes you just need to hear it again. If you have a skill set that like you are good at, but you're afraid to say it because you don't know what people will think, or they only know you for this one thing and now you're doing this other thing, just own it, and it will become stronger for you. Exactly. And then the other thing is like people who are strong in their religion and that stops them from.
Yeah, I think it's about perspective. I used to be super, super Christian, like Bible study on Wednesdays, church on Sundays, didn't play no games. For me, it's about understanding who my source is, right? And for me, God is source. I don't limit to God. I personally don't limit God to being a man in the sky. God is everywhere. And you learn that in Christianity too, right? God created everything. So I don't limit God to like a body sitting in the sky. For me, God is source, the divine, the universe. Everybody calls it, right? Different things. for me, God is my source parent, the divine. This energy that literally can overtake you and feels like unconditional love and peace and support. And I think there's a lot of crossover that people may not want to admit to. You know, you can go to church and a prophet could come and tell you what's going to happen, but you don't want to go. But a psychic, that it's the same one too.
Yeah.
But because they're doing it in the church, it makes it safe or right.
Right.
So for me,
that's real, because usually the people in church are claiming to be prophetic.
People prophesize, and it's real.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not taking away from that experience. It is very real.
I will also say too, though, there are some people who claim to do it and they don't have the best intentions.
No, sometimes it's used for manipulation. And listen, there's also mediums and healers who don't always use it for others' highest good either. No matter where you go, right? It's a 1-2. But as far as people who are Christians that kind of side eye like ancestral mediums and things like that, or just don't understand. We're not even gonna say side eye. We're just gonna say don't understand. It's really, for me, honestly, I don't really be trying to prove nothing to people with different beliefs. I always tell them, again, shout out to all my teachers who've instilled great foundations in me. Jesus is my homie. So it's not that I don't believe. I definitely feel like Jesus walked this earth, and in all those stories are his life's path and his journey, and there is beautiful things that we can honor. I believe in the power of the word and in the scriptures and how we use them for healing, but for healing, and not to tell people what they are and how they should be, and that we should seek something outside of us to tell us if we're right or wrong when God is already within us. So I think there's just a lot of conflicting messages with how things are delivered. And so
there's a belief that it's only one or the
other. And that is where it's a hard no for me.
Gotcha.
There is no one way to connect to your source.
I agree.
Because that's like saying everyone around the world is wrong for how they live.
Oh my gosh, I feel the same way. Like when I have these conversations about
that's
religion,
like telling just like, nope, if you're Asian and not Christian, it's like, no.
Yeah. The only difference is that they were born somewhere else.
That's it. But isn't it supposed to be all about unconditional love and acceptance? So like, what are we giving? Right. So for me, it's just about, I know my source, and my source is connected to this power of unconditional love, acceptance, and compassion, and the fruits of the spirit. That's why I get channel messages from spirit. Our ancestors are directly connected to God's source.
Yeah, they're in his house.
They literally chilling. Like, that's where they at, to keep it as simple as possible. That's where they at. And so I believe in that. That is where I land for like my personal beliefs. It's not religious. It is spiritual. I don't claim to be a religious person. I'm not, but I am a spiritual person. And I do believe in moving in the realms of unconditional love and the highest good. I believe, the angels, the ancestors, our spirit guides. For me, the Orisha, like African spirituality. Again, I don't claim or own any type of religion. I am just a spiritual person that believes in leading with unconditional love and compassion.
I mean, just from what you said, you incorporated theories and thoughts from
everybody.
What people would consider to be maybe 3 or 4 different doctrines.
Yeah.
But you're inclusive of it all.
Because there's a foundational doctrine, right? And that is love.
Right.
And love isn't, thank you, right. And love isn't always like, I love you, I see you. Sometimes love is accountability.
Yeah.
Love is a boundary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love is a no. Right? Love is a get it together. Right? And so I believe, because I get that from my ancestors, and they unconditionally love me. And so and I know source loves me. And so it's leading from, when I say love, that's what I mean. I say love. I just want to be really clear about that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so it's that more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that answers the question.
It does.
Okay.
It absolutely does. No, and I'm fascinated by you even having the journey to have to make the adjustment yourself. And what I mean by that is by being so so ingrained in church, and then to have this gift develop in you, I'm sure you had to kind of change your mindset a little bit.
Yeah, I think I went through a really big period of what I felt was like disconnect from God. I almost felt like I couldn't feel God anymore at one point because what I had learned, right, didn't feel like what I felt.
Yes, I can relate to that.
So it was like it was a disconnect because what I was feeling it was not complete opposite, but a really good opposite enough.
Right.
Okay.
It was a far departure.
It was it was separated enough for me to be like, I was almost like, now what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was like, well, now I'm connected to my intuition. And so now what feels right don't sound right. You know what I mean? And so I went for a nice little minute of being like, I'm straight. Like I'm just gonna go with talking to my ancestors. Now my ancestors are Christians. Like they don't get it twisted. So we read Bible scriptures together. They'd be like, girl, go read Proverbs. You know what I mean? And that's how I honor them. You know what I mean?
And I think that's something that people don't hear a lot from people who have a gift like that, where they're able to talk to mediums that both can be incorporated.
No, absolutely. Listen, that's my walk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
got you.
Everybody walk be looking different. Some people be like, no. That's my walk. You know what I mean? And I think spirituality allows for your connection to God to look the most powerful way it needs to look for you. And that's what I love about being in this part of life. It was a disconnect for a while, and I actually went to a medium. Shout out to Melissa Jacobson. She's on one of the podcast episodes. I had a reading with her where she was like, you've been disconnected from God, like God wants to talk to you again. And I was like, I was like, all right, Melissa, sure. But what I realized in that moment was that I had stopped praying. And I still believe in the power of prayer, right? Whether prayer, I heard something that really stuck with me. And it was like prayer is how you send your requests up to the spirit realm, right? Meditation is how you listen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that distinction.
Yeah. And so for me, I was like, oh.
Because I was thinking one or the other too.
You know what I mean?
And the reason I was thinking one or the other is because I actually had to unlearn how I pray.
Yeah, conversation.
Yeah,
right. Because it's not always asking for something.
Before it was like not just asking, but like you know how you say the things that people say all the time.
Yeah, you're repeating a script.
Yes,
and then you repeat the script, and then you go about your business.
Yes,
right. And so it's about there's nothing wrong with saying the script of prayer, right? I feel like it's a good way to keep you grounded and to activate yourself to be in a state of connecting to source.
Okay.
Especially for those who just need that. Because prayer is powerful. Because when you pray with conviction and authority, it's energy. And your words are energy. Right? So, yeah, pray. And what I realized is I was so disconnected. I stopped praying and I stopped dreaming. And when I say dreaming, I mean like I stopped having bigger visions and goals for myself because I felt so discouraged by what I had learned and what I was feeling. So even though I was doing the work, I was healing, I disconnected from my faith. I got disconnected. And when I say faith, I mean the belief that something could get better.
So like when you realize that you haven't envisioned or you stopped envisioning, I guess maybe the life that you want to create for yourself, how do you get back to that? Because sometimes when I sit down and I think about what do I want the vision of my life to be, there are parts of it that comes up, and I think there's a part of me too that doesn't allow myself to think really big because I'm thinking about how I'm gonna get there.
This actually might sound super cliche, but I journaled and I meditated.
Well, there you have it, folks.
I had a man. I've been
this big life.
Listen, it's not a life change. Like That's why they always say, like, stick to your foundation, right? Like, keep working the foundations, and when you get stuck, go back to your foundation. And when the foundation is what are your tools?
Yeah.
Right? I had to go back to my tools. And so I had to journal, like, and the classic journal prompt is always like, if all my bills were paid, and if I didn't have a care or a worry in the world, right? What would I be doing? How would I be serving?
Right.
Who would I be like? What would my life look like? And you could make it as materialistic as it needs to be. What would my house look like?
Yeah.
What kind of car would I be driving? What kind of friendships would I have? And for me, what was more important, like, how would I feel? Right?
I find that question helps get you out of your head.
Well, it resets you to remember what all of this is for. Like, it resets you to remember why you started healing in the first place. And when you can get to a place of understanding that you and God are a team, and you co-create your life, faith plus works, right? You co-create your life, then you got work to do. Because everything that you imagine, everything you journal, everything you envision, you can have. It's about first and foremost, having the faith that you can actually have it.
Well, and feeling that you're worthy to deserve.
Well, because ain't shit gonna happen
because that's gonna get in your way too.
You're gonna always be self-sabotaging it the closer you get to it. But that's also why we heal. So,
wow, about 5 instances.
Listen, Linda, okay,
where I was like, I want to get this. I get the potential, and I do some of the work, and I almost get there,
and then you start procrastinating because your survival instincts get scared.
Yep.
Because what if this actually happens? It's never actually happened before. There's no way this is gonna happen.
And then if it does, I gotta keep up.
Then
and
you
I don't have the
I heard this, it's like a mantra saying, shout out to whoever this girl is on Facebook, but I've been saying it and I appreciate you, sis, wherever you at. But she said, you can start saying, and I put it in my phone because I love simple things that still feel powerful.
Yeah.
And it was like, I constantly attract limitless opportunities, miracles, blessings, and favor. And I have the wisdom, the discernment, and the discipline to not only maintain it, but to help it flourish.
Ooh.
And I was like, God damn. This again.
Yes.
And I wrote it, and it's something I've been doing for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
But there's power in your words. There's energy in your words. There's something powerful about saying it. And like, I say it in the morning, when I'm getting ready, because it sets the day. And for me, since I've started saying that, things that I thought I would, that would, things that were a no for me, that I was just like, well, I guess that just wasn't for me, have literally like circled back and be like, oh, this didn't work. This person didn't work out. Are you still interested? Like, different thing. And it goes like, what's for you is for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's, again, that goes back to mindset, believing it, and being consistent with it, but journaling, right? I mean, consistently, not even having a journal, but if you just like are a visual person, making the time to sit with your vision. Like, you got to nurture that thing, because when you get disconnected from it,
that's a word.
It's harder to believe it.
Yeah, you start floundering around looking to grasp,
and then
for
you
something.
just doing shit. You don't even know where the productivity is even landing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you make, and it could be, I've had times where I've set like a timer for 2 minutes, and you just gotta sit there, give yourself 120 seconds, and just sit there and just envision what your life would look like. Okay, we all gonna close our eyes. We're gonna close our eyes.
Okay.
We're gonna do, I love working in real time.
Yes.
We're gonna close our eyes.
Yes.
We're gonna take a deep inhale. We're gonna exhale. We're gonna all do this together. And just close your eyes and really just take a moment. Almost feel like you just got dropped down. We just got dropped down into your new future, your new presence. Where are you? What does it look like? What did you have for breakfast this morning? What you sipping on right now? Who's your tribe? Who are you surrounded by? How do you feel? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel whole? How did you get there? What are you doing with your life? What is your day-to-day life? I don't even want, not what's your job. How are you serving humanity? What's your energetic impact that you're doing day in and day out to leave your imprint, to leave the world better than you found it, to leave Earth better than you found it? And yes, for you, that looks like logistics. Yes, for you, that looks like being somebody's lawyer. Yes, for you, that looks like being the person that keeps somebody's house clean. It's the intention, it's being connected to purpose. So what does it feel like? Your bank accounts are full, your debt is paid. How are you living? Are you still in your country? Did you leave your country? Do you live off grid now? How, like, where you at? And just see it and just feel it and just take a few moments to be with it. Give yourself a deep inhale through the nose. Maybe you place your hands on your heart, and an exhale to remind your body of what the goal is, and exhale to remind your mind of what's possible. And whatever you saw, you were meant to see because it's meant to be yours. And then you can slowly blink your eyes open. That's 2 minutes. 2
And it
minutes.
felt
And
good.
I'm just saying. And if you take, from what I've learned, if you take, 2 or 3 times a day to connect for me, like to connect to your why, to remember what's on the other side of what you're going through. What's on the other side of the challenges? What's on the other side of the procrastination? What's on the other side of you not answering that email? What's on the other side of you not calling that person back? All of that's waiting on the other side of you moving forward within, of you breaking your own habits and you breaking your own patterns.
This is
And that's how.
this is a sample of what she will do with you one-on-one. Like, just get you together. But yeah,
That's how we. That's how I started getting connected back and doing that via those type of visualizations. Um, and also, I have to say this: Michael B. Beckwith. He's a pastor of Agape International.
You mentioned him
And
a lot.
Melissa, shout out to Melissa again. Melissa was like, "You need to go listen to Michael B. Beckwith." And I started listening to his sermons, doing his meditations, and I could even feel myself getting like emotional just thinking about it. He made me feel like it was safe to be in church again when the message is that. And when I say, and I don't think he don't even call the church as a spiritual center, but he speaks from a message of God being love and God being a source. And so to know that, like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
And this man is preaching it, he's sharing it, and he's connecting it to meditation and yoga and divine essence within. That is what made me feel safe to go back to God again.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, and I knew that's what I was feeling.
It sounds like you saw a blueprint of what combining those two things.
Exactly. I saw it happen in real time. And there's another Dr. Coleman in Atlanta is another wonderful man. I mean, this man had Bible study. He had the Bible and a tarot deck in Bible study. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And again, he had a spiritual center.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaks 5-6 different languages, and he studies all the religions, so he teaches from that spiritual aspect. And so it made me feel safe, even outside of myself. I mean, I felt safe within because I knew what I felt and I was just going to rock and roll with it, but I think it's about feeling safe within community. And like there's community that thinks and feels that way as well. And it's not religious, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
And it's rooted and it's connected to love.
And that's really, really key. Because especially if you spend a lot of your time doing work solo or living solo, you want to find community. Sometimes you're thinking, and I think that's why a lot of people, even if they feel disconnected from what they hear at church, they continue to attend because the fellowship is great,
beautiful,
right? Like when that's why I love going to live concerts, because when you can just connect to the energy of some music that you can relate to and that almost feels like it's lifting you off the ground, and you can feel that with other people.
Energy.
Yes, it's a great connection.
Yes.
In your day-to-day life, though, the interesting thing is that you usually develop community by default. It's the people you're spending the most time with, which it could be the people that you're working with. It could be the people that that you live with.
Mm.
It could be the people who are parents of the kids that go to the same school as you. But if you're not in those environments on a regular basis, what are your thoughts about being able to connect to a community that has like the same energy that you do? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but like just thinking about it,
What I would say is, to be completely honest, you will attract it. But you have to consistently and wholly get to a space where you know not all the way who you are, but you understand where you are. If that makes
It does.
When you begin to do that, you will, and this is me speaking from my experience, you will attract those people.
Okay.
And it'll happen. Like, look how
That's
we met.
legit. I was about to
You know
say
what I
that's
mean? Look at how
legit.
we met. You don't have to try. You don't have to go find. You don't have to go prove. You don't have to go do the most. You don't have to go be thirsty about it.
Right.
Because then your wounds just come alive and you'll be coming at it with a forceful energy. I think I've lost beautiful relationships by letting my wounds take the lead.
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
I can see how that has,
You know what I mean?
manifested
Exactly.
itself in a way that I didn't want.
Yeah, it comes back to bite you in the butt.
Yep.
But if you minding your business and you healing yourself, and I think that's what's important. You don't worry about trying to be connected to other people. Your number one job and your number one relationship is the one with yourself. So if that's where you be at,
right,
and you start the process of liking you, loving you, accepting you, getting to know you, understanding you, knowing your wounds so you know how to be accountable for your energy in community, and in, relationship, then you attract, because you attract what you are. So you got to be careful with where you at.
That is,
you know what I mean? Because if you in the thick of it and you out here, raw with your emotions, don't be walking around here trying to attract your new best friend. What we doing? Like, no.
you gotta
Go work through
that. Go do that. And that is, we talk about this sometimes about healing and how there's a difference between what people think healing looks like and what it really is. Because it is a series of highs and lows and
it's
dark
a roller
times.
coaster.
Oh my gosh.
It's not linear.
It is not. And one of the things I'm grateful for is like there's some obvious things or benefits to some of the work that you do. But then there's some of the intangible, like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen kind of things. And she's laughing because I called her. Like, what the hell is this? Why am I? What is going on? Like, I'm feeling.
And I was like, welcome.
I was like,
welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
I mean, it's like, listen, I'm going to be completely transparent. It has looked like I'm confused. I don't know what these emotions are. It has been things coming up in waves that cause, it felt like great sorrow, but it was a shedding.
Yeah, it's a release.
I come to learn that. But because it's like this wave that is so ugly.
Yeah.
Our first instinct is to flee. But having somebody like you around to kind of say, listen, this is normal. This is what it is. The only way to is through. So just kind of rock with it for a second. You might want to, be in a closet in a fetal position. That's fine, because that's where I was. And that's a part of the process.
It is. Sometimes it's gonna look like you saying no and being super excited about it because you realize in real time you just broke a pattern, a habit, and sometimes it feels like borderline depression.
Yes.
But it's still a shedding and it's still a release. Everything that we heal spiritually and energetically also needs to purge physically, and it needs to integrate. Like as your spirit begins
let's talk about that specifically. Let's talk about it specifically. So when you say you're shedding something spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it has to release physically. What that looks like. And before I met
Mm-hmm.
Shonda, I had a friend who did Reiki, and she used to do Reiki
Mm-hmm.
on me. And like, basically, Reiki is clearing up the energy
Mm-hmm.
that's blocking some of your chakras.
Mm-hmm.
So when she would clear up a chakra,
Mm-hmm.
like all the mucus in my nose would come out.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So what she means by and I just because I
No,
want to
you're
make it crystal
good. Yeah,
clear,
yeah.
what she means by like a releasing of something spiritual will manifest itself physically is that, right?
Mhm.
When you start to shed that, because
Mhm.
my girlfriend used to tell me, like, sometimes people will like go to the bathroom, or they would just
Yeah,
cry
cry.
for a long
Yeah.
time, or like, you know, everything will come
Mhm.
out of their nose, or you might just start sweating. Like,
Mhm.
your body
Mhm.
is also releasing.
Yeah, because your
somehow.
body holds all of that.
Yes.
Your body holds your tension, your memories, your experiences, your trauma, your joys. That's why the best thing I look at is like I think about how I grew up. That's why like when you got into an argument with somebody and then you go tell somebody else, you start crying all over
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Right? It's like because your body starts to relive the experience because now
Yes.
it has stored the response,
Yes.
and the overwhelming of the moment. And so it's about taking that seriously and
Yes.
understanding that that is a real thing.
Yes.
And so when we're healing our, neural pathways or through our affirmations and our therapy and our journaling and all the things, the body needs the space and the time to move all of that out too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's a lifestyle because you have to take care of yourself in every aspect. So energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So you can't just nurture one and think the other side is just gonna catch up.
Got it.
Everything works together.
And you doing healing movement is another side.
It's
of
all
that.
about because I am an active person. My children are
Mhm.
active as hell too. So it's the body has always been my way of I think releasing even as a kid, so I think even when I tried to run away from doing movement and I was like I'm just going to do meditation,
Mhm.
I always found myself getting the breakthrough that I needed when I moved my body.
Mhm.
And so just accepting A, that that's just part of who I am,
Mhm.
and then B, really taking the time to learn the power in movement and that it really is medicine,
Mhm.
along with the herbs and the crystals and being able to connect to our ancestors, the movement, the body, giving it the space. And that's a relationship too,
Mm.
and doing the work on all those areas is important. But my lane, my happy place, is the body,
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel good when
Yeah.
I go to those dance medicine
Girl,
classes
listen, because
with you.
it be a
It
vibe.
is fun.
It's a
It's fun.
vibe.
I mean, I know that I need to work out more, but I don't enjoy it. But what I do enjoy is
Mhm.
dancing. I enjoy moving when it's something fun.
And it's intentional,
Yes.
and so you get a 2-for-1 special. You get to do it in a group and community.
Mhm.
You get to get your channel messages in real time, and you
Mhm.
get to move it out of your body in real time rather than have to go sit and reflect and do all the extra parts.
Right.
So working in real time to really get it out of your body and not feeling like, again, you got to do it solo
Yeah.
and on your own,
Mhm.
but
I,
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Like knowing all of this, it's still a lot to maintain.
Listen, ain't nobody said it was gonna be easy. Okay, ain't nobody say all that, but it can be doable. That's why I always tell people like your journey is your journey, because you'll have moments where like your body just needs to go go go, and there'll be moments where you don't need to do nothing but meditate. And there'll be moments when you can balance and flow through it all. That's why it's not linear, but you gotta understand the formula that everything is required. You know what I mean? And then lean into wherever you're at. So that way you're not just trying to cheat the game or bypass it by doing what makes you feel comfortable. Like you gotta lean into the whole thing.
I mean, you don't know
You
me,
know?
Ti. Why you
I
calling
mean,
me
I
out?
love you so much.
Why you calling
I
me
love
out?
you so much. Thank you so
Why
much.
you?
I love you so much.
You ain't gotta put my business out
Yes.
there.
Thank you for being with me, friend. I appreciate you.
Because on the real, like that's where I feel like that I am sometimes. Like
And it's like that.
I default to the
I feel
stuff that
like that
feels
sometimes.
good. Yeah.
We human. we're still having a human experience. It's going to happen. That's why grace is important too.
Mm.
If y'all have other questions that you want to be answered, send me an email, the link in the bio and all the things.
Yeah.
DM me and we'll start getting some podcast episodes answering your questions about healing as a lifestyle too. Thank you, friend,
Thank you
for
so
hanging
much
out
for
with me.
having
I appreciate you.
me. Yeah. This was fun. I'm
Yay.
very honored to be on your
I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Keep going, keep growing, keep healing, stay connected. You got this.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on the Healing Lifestyle Podcast. May today's reflections support your healing, your ascension, and your wholeness. To deepen your journey, book an ancestral reading or explore my new ebook guide, Chakra Wellness. This gives you the foundation for healing with crystals, herbs, and movement. Visit domingotraining.com or connect with me on social media at Domingo Training. Until next time, keep going, keep growing, keep healing.